The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
What's up, bees?
Hello.
Welcome to the Brit on Blast podcast, where we put everything and anything on blast.
So, Britt, what's this week's roundup?
So this week we have Tiffany Billman on the podcast, who is a local realtor and gives incredible tips and tricks on buying and selling property on her Instagram, which is for you guys to go follow her. It's Living Reno Tahoe. She is so incredible. I cannot express that enough. We have so many awesome guests on here, and we've been interviewing them really all of December.
Yeah.
And we have some more coming up this month. But what I loved and still love so much about Tiffany is that she is truly just like a light. She is honestly such a positive person. Mm-hmm. She has this, and we talk about it in today's episode, but we talk about how she does these I get tos instead of doing I have to.
Right.
And it really does change your mindset. And so I would challenge you guys to do, when you're writing your to-do list, like it's an I get to.
Right.
I would like to tell you all also that I put my phone on do not disturb. It is literally on do not disturb. And somehow my family is still getting through to me right now.
Can you take 1 hour to be on the pod, please?
I can't. And my therapist is always like, hi, hello. Can you turn your phone off? I'm like, it is off. And she's like, how are people getting through? I'm like, I don't know.
That's a bad habit.
Like my uncle has texted me 7 times since we've started recording.
Yikes. So we're so excited to have Tiffany on today. And let's just talk a little bit about how our week is going. How's your week? What's up? Who's on first?
What do you mean who's on first?
You've never heard that expression? Oh, it's like a baseball, softball expression. It just means like
like who's up first?
Like what's going on?
Yeah.
Give me the down low. Where are we at?
Yeah. Last week was an interesting week for me, and we'll talk about that on next week's episode. But it just was like a heavy week. It felt like really intense. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that from the new year.
Well, you had to do the eulogy for your grandma, which is kind of, I don't want to say a long time coming, but but it's also like the closure that you and your family needed, but you had to kind of like step up and take that role, which is a lot.
It was a lot. But I was really grateful to do it. And honestly, because I did it, I was able to have some really amazing moments. Like with my papa, he was really grateful and proud. And he just like has been noticing me in a different way.
Sweet.
And then I got to hang out with my sweet cousin Violet, who is my cousin's daughter. She's 4 years old. She just turned 4 years. Well, she's going to turn 4 years old this 2 weeks. And she is just an angel. Like she's just this little blonde haired baby angel. And she just like is in the princess mode right now. So it was a princess party, and so she got her first pair of heels.
Oh, I love that.
It was just the cutest
Kids
thing.
like have a way to like allow you to escape, right? Playing with them, you're like, whoa, where am I? But it's so good and healthy.
Yeah.
It's like you get to revert back to being a child.
And then I put my phone down like aggressively. Like I just like only took photos and on that Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was just such a joy, because all of a sudden, next thing I knew, we were like playing a game of balloon volleyball.
Oh my God, I saw that on your story.
I know. And my papa joined in.
How
and he's 91 years old. So it was like,
so cute.
He was doing it. And then Violet was running around and doing it. And my aunts were doing it. And my aunt's boyfriend, Jim, who's like amazing, he was doing it. Like we were just having so much fun.
I love that. Like the spontaneous little, those are the best. It's like you can plan a game, but it's like the games that like, my family, I have a huge family of tons of cousins, but like we randomly had this dance party this one time, and the kids were tearing it up. Everyone was tearing it up. It was so fun.
It's the best moments. I live for that, and I just want more of that in my life.
I agree. I agree.
How was your week?
So my week was good. I went to Tahoe, which was amazing and beautiful, and just kind of hung out. And I was super grateful to have that time with my mom. And then John came up for the weekend, which was awesome. I definitely recharged, but that was also due to Omicron. So there's that. We did a photo shoot. I've been working a ton on Murdock's hats, which has been great. Just like working on relationships and investors and everything like that. So that's been really nice. I feel like I've shelved that through last year just because BLFT was coming in so hot, which is amazing. But I'm just kind of doing like a lot of housekeeping things that kind of get shelved throughout the year, and it feels really good. Also just taking a quick break from social media. And I was just telling you that like that time away from posting and creating content has kind of allowed like this creative spirit to come up in me and like to just think about things differently instead of just what's right in front of your nose. You know what I mean? So that's been amazing. I'm so ready for the world to go back to normal. I know that's never going to happen, but I'm just like, I was like having Omicron, like it just is like the anxiety that comes with it, and you want to do the right thing, but it's just like so exhausting. I'm so done with it.
I know.
Other than that, things are great, and super excited for today's interview.
I know. I'm really, really excited too. I cannot wait to jump into it. So without further ado, here is our interview with the beautiful Tiffany Billman. Please go give her a follow, especially if you're going to be buying or selling any property. And if you guys want to work out with her and get your ass absolutely kicked, you can find her at Pure Barre and in Reno, and you can find her at Sunday Pilates as well. So that's where I find her every Wednesday. And if I don't show up, she literally hunts me down.
And you're sore every single time. I mean, I'm permanently sore too, but
let me tell you what,
it's amazing.
My ass has never looked better, and it's all thanks to her. Like I owe my ass to
I mean, I saw, okay, so you're right about that because you were wearing that bodycon ribbed knit black spaghetti strap dress yesterday with the slit, like, and you were working it. You looked so hot.
No, my legs and my ass have never looked better. And I can honestly tell you.
I'm just going to
own it. I'm just going to own it. I know my papa, even my papa on, at the event, he's 91 years old and I was wearing like this black dress and just was like, we were playing that game. And all of a sudden my papa goes, "Oh my God, Brittany, you lost so much weight." And I'm like, "I did." And my Jim looks at me and he's like, "You could say thank you." I'm like, yeah, thank you.
You're like, I own that. I did that. I worked for that.
It's hard work and it's painful, like literally painful. So I'm just, I'm grateful.
So rewarding.
So rewarding. And I'm just really grateful for Tiffany because she forces me to show up even when I don't want to. And those are the people that I really value in my life.
And then you feel better after you leave.
All right, so let's get into it. Here's Tiffany, you guys. Enjoy.
So Britt, because this is in your wheelhouse, why the Automobile Museum?
I mean, for me, it's about the cars all day long. I love cars. I like old cars, new cars, all the things. For me, the fact that they have the DeLorean here and the Batmobile in the same room is like, it makes my heart happy. So that's why for me, but I think for like someone like us, like doing things with all of our friends, like 160 of our close friends could go to the theater.
In any movie that you want, they have so many things to offer. The space camp for your kids, if you like need a little break or you want to look at the cars. Reno's just really lucky to have it. It's one of the biggest collections, I think, in the country, which is awesome.
It's so cool. And the fact that it's here in the biggest little city is like the coolest thing ever. So yeah, grab a bottle of tequila and come on into the theater.
Yes, Back to the Future.
Get all your friends, 160 of them, so the whole town of Reno.
So everyone you know.
And watch a movie.
Yep.
You can find tickets at the automuseum.org.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where you go get your tickets.
Perfect.
Fun day. Hey. I am so excited about this week's interview that we have. We talk about our next guest all the time on the podcast.
We do.
So without further ado, Tiffany Billman, entrepreneur extraordinaire, is here with us today. She's a realtor with Realty ONE Group Eminence, based in Reno, and teaches for fun at Sunday Pilates and Pure Barre. She's my favorite person to work out with. I cannot express that enough. She's a great cheerleader for my brand and me as a person all the time. She's the first person in my DMs to be like, "Who said what to you?" I love that about her. And she makes me laugh constantly, even while she's like burning out my thighs so badly I want to cry. Tiffany, we are so excited to have you here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I am flattered and humbled to even be on here with you guys because you guys are like amazing. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, you're
we're
so
so excited. I just want to add how I met Tiffany because we both met her through different routes, but I met Tiffany through BLFT, my business, the fashion truck. And I'm so glad I did. I mean, you are a champion for small business. So you kind of just like poked into the Babe Cave one day. And my sister told me like, I met the coolest girl today.
Yeah.
So sweet.
And I wasn't there, but then I got to meet you another time. And you're just like a little ray of sunshine every time you come in, because there's been tons of times now. You have and you have the warmest energy. You're so positive. You look good in everything, which makes our job super easy.
True.
She like tried on these white pants and she literally tried them on in every size, and every size looked good. I'm like, not only do they look good on you, but you can wear them as like boyfriend jeans, or you can wear them as like, you know, the wide leg pants.
They're the traveling pants of the biggest little fashion truck. They look good on everybody.
No, that girl, not every size looks good on everyone. It was amazing. But you're so motivational, and I love everything that you stand for. Your Instagram posts, like I truly look forward to them every day. And we talked about this, and we'll probably get into it more. But you say I get to do the things, and sometimes they're not fun tasks or things that people really look forward to. So it's motivation for me, and it's inspirational. Truly, I'm like, you know, if I'm down, I see your post, and I'm like, okay, turn your day around. So, anyways, I'm so glad that you're here, and we both know her in different ways, but this is awesome. So
girl after my own heart too. Surfs. You snowboard or you ski?
Yeah, you're such a badass. Like,
love it. No, seriously.
It's so cool. Yeah. I know. Surf. She's always doing something.
Behind the boat. The ocean is a whole other animal.
No, I'm afraid of sharks. It's like a weird thing. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm scared of just drowning.
Don't look at me like that.
I mean,
sharks and alligators.
Legit.
Sharks and alligators, I can't fight those. A bear, I might stand a chance against a bear, but I look at my posture right now. I'm like panicked.
Do you know what I'm like most scared of?
What?
Parasites.
Oh,
that's like my biggest fear.
That's fair. You can't fight those either.
No, and you don't even like.
And you don't even know what's going on until it's like,
dude,
too late.
I can't. I can't.
Welcome to this episode of Fear Factor.
Sharks, alligators, parasites.
Gotta
all
go.
the things.
What are you scared of?
This.
Okay, perfect. Public. Well, this isn't even
not
public.
even public speaking. Like I teach, so I'm on a mic.
Yeah.
I have done seminars. I've done things, but for some reason, like I don't know.
Girl,
I just
talking
haven't done
about
a podcast,
yourself,
and it's talking about myself.
Yeah.
I love promoting other people and businesses, and don't get me started on like you guys. I would just go off, but talking about myself is like a weird thing. I don't know what to do with my hands.
It's hard to do. But
do what you want with your hands. Just avoid this general space right here. Yeah. As I knock over my can of water.
just don't hit the mic.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry this makes you uncomfortable,
No,
but
we're good.
you are amazing. And just take this time to be like, yeah, I did do that, you know, and I do know those things. So
also your clients want to know about you.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, the more I learn about you, the more I love you. So like, let's talk about it.
I know there's so many different facets
Thank you.
to you. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so what did you do before you became a realtor?
Okay, so I guess a little background. I graduated from the University of Nevada, Reno.
Go Pack.
Yeah. With my marketing degree. And then from there, I kind of became a Swiss Army knife. I kind of did a lot of different things. I worked in the events industry. I'm only going to name a few. I worked in the events industry. I worked full-time at an eye surgeon's office. I teaching in the fitness industry, then came into real estate. So I did a lot of different things before I actually became a realtor, which I think has actually helped me because also it's entrenched me in the community in so many different fields. So I feel like that's
in the experience.
I
think that's so good for someone to hear who maybe doesn't know what they want to do yet. Maybe a younger person who just graduated, or someone who's like, I just don't love this career path, to know that you can change and still end up where you want to be. Like that's really cool.
Sometimes it takes that, like doing a bunch of different things in order to find what you want. Have you guys heard that saying where like a seed has to totally tear itself apart before it actually grows into a flower?
Okay, I just got more full body chills. I love that.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of people that end up finding their passion is because they had to go through that breakthrough to get there. So
hang in there.
Yeah.
Britton looks at me.
No, not you. I I was looking at you to ask the next question. No, I'm under construction. Everyone is under construction.
Yeah, we're all under
all
construction.
that seed, okay?
Look at Britton likes to say Amazon started as a bookstore.
They did. An online bookstore.
Yeah.
Like if you just stay in one place, you're not going to make it. And you're not going to
gotta grow.
Go into space on a rocket that looks like a dick. But
yes,
you know?
Honestly, this is what I was hoping for. This is the content I wanted.
Well, it's the truth. I'm like, really, Jeff? Like, I'm sorry. I don't know about spaceships.
Y'all are on a first name basis.
This is the
with
only
Jeff?
shape that you could go.
Yeah, seriously.
It's very aerodynamic.
I mean, with that being said, I would ride it to space. I would take a ride.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Oh my God. I can't wait for this to continue.
I wasn't ready for that to come out of you. Maybe
well, I was just like, I want to take a trip to space. It just made sense. Go
someone's rocket.
Flip ship.
Yes. Yes. Honestly, this has been the highlight of my entire year that it wasn't me who brought up the dick jokes because it normally is.
Happen. It's an observation.
I'm here for it. Okay, listen, you open the can of worms. I've been keeping it back, so it's on. Oh, no, I'm kidding. All right. So what made you start with being a realtor?
Okay. So there's a few different things. So my mom has been in real estate since I was born. She was 39th in the nation for selling homes. So at one point when that happened, she was actually a single mom at that point. Wow. And so that was a lot of motivation for me, but also at one point at the beginning of my career, I was working 4 jobs. I was working full-time in an eye surgeon's office. I was teaching Pilates, I was teaching bar and doing real estate. And I went into full-blown like burnout. Yep. I was exhausted. I was unhappy. It was affecting my relationships. My boyfriend was like, either something needs to go or like, we need to go. Like this isn't working because I was miserable. And so I decided that a corporate job would always kind of be there. I have my marketing degree. I have connections in the community. That something like that would always be there. Even though a lot of people told me that I would not succeed in real estate.
Oh, wow.
They said that I was not sharky enough. There's a shark thing. That I was not sharky enough to be in real estate. But it turns out I'm like, okay.
I would like to say this
because you're you.
Yeah, I would like to say this because my best friend and I, like for years and years and years, Alex, we had this conversation yesterday, and she's about to go into a new position in like a very, very premium, one of the top of your favorite actually, designers. She's going to be working with them, and she is such an incredible salesperson. She's been doing it forever. And she's like, well, I don't know how to be salesy. I'm like, dude, that's what makes you a great salesperson. That's what makes you a great salesperson because you're not trying to just get something like in someone's hands and exchange money. Mm-hmm. You're trying to make a difference in somebody's life.
Right.
You're trying to provide them with something that you think that will make them happy or improve their life.
Right.
Yeah, it was hard, especially when you have like those naysayers at the beginning.
Yeah.
Were they people close to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
some of them were very close, and so that was really hard. And so I saved enough money from like the deals that I had made with real estate. I put a nest egg away. I'm very type A. Put a nest egg away, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit the full-time job, and I'm just going to do real estate now. I feel confident enough to do it, and I did it, and I have been doing better and better and better every single year, like exceeding goals every single year.
Hold on.
Congrats.
The first time I sat down with Tiffany and I got to know a little bit more about her, I'm just going to because I know she's not going to do this herself. She had met all of her goals. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
She had met all of her goals like 3 months before the year was over it was like a while before.
Congrats.
Like that's something to be really proud of.
That's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great. And what it did was actually just motivate me to write down next year's goals.
Which is great. I mean, whatever it motivates you to do. I mean, now you have new goals and you can, that's all we're trying to do. But the fact that to be able to achieve a goal 3 months earlier than you thought you were going to be able to achieve it, not only that, but then free up all of your space for the holiday season so you can kind of relax is really,
take time, reflect, be proud of yourself for all that you accomplished.
I need to be better about that because I am quote unquote like a high achiever. So as soon as I hit those goals, I panicked.
You're all okay.
And I
What
was
about
like,
next year?
And I panicked. And what about next year? Or did I set my goals too low? Then I'm hard on myself. So that's actually, you guys might be asking me a question later about what I need to improve on, and that might be something.
Yes,
we love that. We love that. You want to ask the next question?
Yeah, just throughout, looking at your social media and just knowing you, I can tell how deeply you care for your clients. So what is one thing that you hope you can leave your clients with?
So I would say my goal is to always leave my clients with more knowledge and confidence in that they made the right choice in this decision. This is one of the biggest choices that you make financially in your life is a home. And so I'm hoping that I leave them with some knowledge and some confidence, and that they never feel like they're in the dark. So basically, I find myself trying to take on this very traditional industry in a very unconventional way, in like an innovative type way. And it does still amaze me that being authentic and genuine is like some sort of revolutionary concept. So
it truly is so funny. It's because that's what attracted me to you. And I've been going through this a lot lately with the authenticity. I've always been very authentic. But then when I became single and lost a lot of weight, people had a lot of comments to make about that. And we talked about that before. Thirst trap. It's me. Listen, if you want me to be a thirst trap, I'll be a thirst. Whatever you want me to be, I'll be. I think that the thing that you do best, because for me, there was a period where I was considering buying a home and I was like, yeah, I'm going to pass because I just didn't understand it at all. But you have created a very modern, kind of like educational experience and authentic on your Instagram. So if you guys are not following her, it is the best content ever. And you posted something yesterday that I loved, or the day before, and it was like this funny reel, and it's all funny. You're constantly making me laugh.
Because the reels are still like, I might be too old to be creating them, but I'm doing them anyways. So
same. Okay, same.
No, I don't feel like that at all. I love them. They're always educational.
Well, Thanks. And you posted all of the things that were like, your buyers are really excited about something, and then you're like, these are all the red flags.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, I was like, that sold me, because I was like, when I'm ready to buy a house, I'm going to Tiffany, which I was going to anyway, because I don't know any other realtors. No, I'm kidding.
I'm like,
I know here
like 7 to 10 realtors.
I mean, I think I might know them, but not well enough. Anyway, but my point being is that you're looking out for your clients.
Yeah.
Every day.
You are. And I mean, my husband and I bought our first house, a couple of years ago now, and it was just intimidating. And I felt like I was like, and people came at you with so many questions. I was like, do I need to know that? Luckily, my husband is good at stuff like that. But he had to explain it to me. And I'm like, this is a lot,
Yeah.
Our realtor was amazing, and he was great. But still, I feel like you make it less intimidating. And I also feel like you kind of like all these like preconceived fears that people have, like, oh, I don't have enough money to put down, or I don't have.
There's so many.
Break those, which is really cool. You shatter them, because I'm like, oh shit, like, you don't need
the 20% down.
Yeah,
exactly. 5%. Yeah, like all of that stuff. And so knowledge is power. And even if you're not going to buy with me or sell with me, I would still rather give the information and you go out there confidently knowing that this is my next step and this is what I do. And that's kind of my goal, with obviously not just my clients, but just with anybody that's looking to buy or sell. I've got some people that aren't looking to buy here, but they still get my buyer's guides and different things like that because they just want the knowledge.
I'm just like so impressed by you. I'm sitting here, I'm just like staring at you so intently, because I'm thinking about like the full encompassing, and you talked about how you do so many things, and you really are incredible at putting your clients first, whether that's the thing that you do for fun, teaching Pilates and bar, or working with your clients. And it doesn't even matter if they're working directly with you. You're trying to make a difference in people's lives. Like that's not something that people are doing on the day to day. So you should be really, really proud of yourself.
Right.
Thanks.
People, everyone's like, what's in it for me? But
Yeah.
in another, I mean, we've said this a million times, like you measure success in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And yes, financially is one of them, but like you're touching people who maybe they don't even know you. And you're like equipping them with this knowledge that now they can go confidently buy a house. How cool is that?
Right.
Like, how can you
That's
measure
cool.
that? You can't.
That's
But
super
like
cool.
knowing that you are.
Yeah. And another big part of it too is that I love the community. So I do try to promote a lot of the local businesses in town.
You are a champion.
And so I get messages from people all the time like, thanks, you created my whole Christmas list for me, things like that. And for me, I'm passionate about real estate. I'm passionate about our community. And I feel like they go hand in hand. And so I'm like here to help.
This episode is going to be called Full Body Chills because that's all I've had this
She's
entire
just
time.
spreading positivity.
I mean-
all like the warmest. That's what I'm saying. When she comes in the Babe Cave, it's like a little ray of sunshine, no matter what her day is.
Truly.
Like
Yeah.
I one
I've
time
had
we
to
came
work
in.
on that.
Well, it's working.
Right.
Because like you told me like what you had gone through that day, and I was like, oh my gosh, and you're still just smiling and laughing and being like, okay, like
I get to come into the Babe Cave.
yes,
Yeah. I get
know?
twos all day long.
You have to change the mindset. The mindset's huge.
well,
Don't let yourself spiral because the spiral is quick, but the come up is hard.
that
is-
takes work and effort, and the easy
Yeah.
route is to just like sit there and pity in your thoughts and be like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Girl, I was there. I've been there. I've been like
We've
trying
all
to-
been there.
I'm trying to dig out of that's been
Daily
rough.
basis.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't
want to.
yeah, exactly. Like a little brat. But
Not
we
today.
get to.
Yes,
we
we
get to.
get to.
Okay. So now that we've talked about all the wonderful things that you're so good at, what do you feel like you could be better at?
So I kind of touched on this at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I wish I was better at not taking things so personally and my self-talk. Those are two big ones, right? So
Yeah.
I'm very type A, and I tend to give myself a lot of myself away, which can be super draining. And I'm also a Cancer, so I just give a lot, and I like to do that. But it can be very draining, and then pair that with your negative self-talk, and it can be a disaster. So, like I've been saying, I have worked really hard to try to change my mindset and notice the most important thing for me is to notice when I am spiraling,
Yeah.
right? So just to take acknowledgement of like, okay, just stop for a second and think about something you're grateful for, or stop for a
Yeah.
second and realize that this is like in this moment, I'm fine.
Yep.
Like I don't need to keep panicking, but I take things personally, like because I care about all my clients. So I take things very personally for them too.
Yeah.
So I've tried to separate myself enough to where I'm still caring and good, but also not draining myself to the point where I'm not able to give back to myself
Right.
Right.
or to the people that I care about.
Right.
This is a hot topic for me right now. It
Yes.
keeps coming up. And I think probably because we are in the holidays and we are all entrepreneurs, that we're giving so much to our businesses and then we're giving so much to the people around us. And it really does come down to the fact, like Monday, I didn't work out because I was like, I can't get out of bed today. Like I can't do it. And I had to stop myself and be like, okay, one action. What is one action you can do right now? And I started with my gratitude list.
Good.
And then the next action was like, get your ass out of bed. Like literally just put your feet on the floor and get out of bed. Like, and then it was just one more step at a time. And then the next thing I knew, I'm having a great day and everything's going to be fine. And it's that, like, what did you just say a second ago? It wasn't the spiral. It's
The come up is hard. The like
Yeah.
you're scraping and crawling out of this cave that you've just like spiraled down into.
right. And if you
It's
can
hard.
avoid that spiral by catching your thoughts, it can really make a difference.
It's hard though, like when you're in it, but like you said, you identify it.
If
So
you
almost-
identify it, bring it to the light,
Right.
it can't hide anymore.
And almost say like, okay, it's okay that you're feeling like this, you're identifying it, but like let's change, let's shift how it's gonna work. But like you shouldn't feel guilty for having those thoughts
no.
or for having a day where you just like can't get out of bed, because I think that's all normal, especially when you're drained and when you do things like us where you give back. I mean, people are like leeches. They will suck you
Dry.
yes.
Oof.
Yes. And so yeah, it's identifying, not being hard on yourself, but shifting and making the change, like the come up, like you're talking about.
Well, and I think like, sorry, I want to stay on this for a second because I think this is so valuable and I think so many people could use this. You just talked about negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
We all have negative self-talk. Like we all do. We're constantly, we look on social media, we see all of these things that are maybe true, maybe not true. You have no idea what's going on in that person's day. I mean, it just goes back to like you were being a ray of sunshine and you were having a hard day. You can be both living in that space. And I think that when you recognize like what's happening in my mind right now isn't real. It doesn't have to be real.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be a fact.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, that's so hard to do, but you're right.
Like you can just literally, and that's what I've been doing. I'll start like, we talk about this. I always think like, I'm not going to sell a single candle in January. It can't be true.
Yeah.
Like that literally can't be true.
Like why does our mind just jump to worst case scenario?
Yeah.
I do that with, like what I said, I hit all my goals. And then I was like, no one else is going to use me. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, where's my pipeline of people is what we call it, you know, and you can spiral.
Yeah.
But you don't. You can just say, no, I'm going to sell another candle. Like that's ridiculous.
One day at a time. Like why are we looking out so far? Like all we really have control of is the present moment and what we can do right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
Well, kind of along the lines, but things get hard in business. What keeps you going? What's your why? We kind of already touched on this, but just elaborate a little bit more.
So I really have to think about this one, but choice is my why. Sounds weird.
Oh wait, I love this. I'm about this.
I'm intrigued.
So I get to choose who I work with. I get to choose my schedule. My dad is sick. He has cancer, and
sorry to hear that.
I'll be fine. So he has cancer. Anyways, because I've been able to choose my schedule, I've been able to take him to all of his doctor's appointments. He's 88. He's significantly older, so I need to help him with all his doctor's appointments. So I get to choose my schedule. I get to choose how I run my business, and I get to choose how I show up every day. So choice is my why.
Incredible. I love that.
I absolutely love that. And honestly, like, what a beautiful thing. I mean, you just expressed something very hard that's happening in your life, and you choosing to see the bright side of that is a huge, huge thing. I mean, the opportunity to see the light in something. That's really what you do, Tiffany. And that's what you do for all of us. Like,
yes, little ray of
it's
sunshine.
a reminder, like to be the light and to see the light. You're good, girl. I've cried on this podcast. You're fine. That's a big thing.
I think just like reeling back over the interview, how you said all those jobs that you've done, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like almost like you had to go through that journey to come to this realization that you wanted choice, or like kind of how I picture it, because I relate to that so much. Like I did all these jobs and then I realized I called it freedom. I want financial freedom. I want time freedom. Yep. And I want the freedom of controlling my own life.
Yeah.
And so you did that and you made that decision and now it's paying off.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I just relate to that so much too, because I wouldn't have been able to be there in the last 2 months for my family if it weren't for the business that I run. And I didn't meet my goals and I didn't hit the things that I wanted to do, but that's okay for me.
It was your first year. Like, how could you even know?
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Like
next year you can set some goals and whatever, but like you don't even know what a typical March should look like. Like, so easy on yourself, girl.
Being is that like I got the opportunity to be there for people and in the time
you gotta choose that,
right? And in the moment it felt really heavy and intense, but if I had looked at it the way that you're looking at it, where it's like I get to choose these things, it probably would have been a little bit of a lighter situation for me.
Well, that's really
not
cool.
lighter, but like a little bit. A little bit lighter.
Moving forward,
you gotta choose your family in that time instead of having to go to work 9 to 5.
I get to
you get to make that choice.
Yeah. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like you had to work really, really hard to get there.
I still work on it every day.
And you had to, choose fear or choose faith over fear from those naysayers that said you weren't sharky enough. to make it. You said, you know what, I want this so bad because I want this choice. I'm going to go for it. And look, so like, it's just really cool. And for the people that are listening who are maybe in between or they don't really know what they're doing or they don't like their career they're in, like it's not too late to change. Make that choice, right? Like you are standing proof that it works.
Yes.
And that's really cool.
Let's lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's lighten it up.
Sorry. Rapid fire. Oh, girl, don't be sorry. Are you kidding
Never
me?
apologize.
Have you listened to our podcast? I'm constantly like, listen, everything is hard and I hate this. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so rapid fire. I'll start.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could go back, would you do it again?
Yes.
Love that.
If you could do anything else, what would you do?
Honestly, if I could go back, I might be a PT
Oh, you'd be
oh my
great at
gosh.
that.
or a
Yeah.
life coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you could still do that.
Wait, I have.
You kind of are a life coach.
Yeah, you are. Honestly, in the biggest things in life. I mean,
Yeah.
God, if you guys have not been to one of her classes, go. It's
I'm
like the
come take
funniest,
class.
horrifying thing you've ever done in your life. And no, it is honestly like the best workout of my life. It is the greatest. I have a quick question for you. Do you know what human design is? Okay, I'm going to teach you about it off
Okay.
air. We'll do it later.
Okay.
Because I'm really curious about yours. Name one high of the last year and one low.
Okay, so we kind of talked about the high. So I had my best year in business this year.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
And I'm starting to get recognized more and more for my marketing efforts on Instagram, which is like my basic what I'm doing for marketing
Yeah.
and word of mouth. And then one low is that I found out my dad had stage 4 prostate cancer, and I've been helping to take care of him. So that was
Do you have
that was
siblings?
a low. I do. I have a brother, but he's in Chicago,
Okay.
and he's actually technically my stepbrother, but I just consider him my brother.
Yeah.
So my dad is just with me.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility.
That is.
Yeah.
Sorry you're going through that.
I had good highs though. So.
Good highs. Good highs. I know. It's all balance. Living
Yeah.
in that and space.
Yep.
Go ahead.
How do you take care of yourself?
I work out for my health, and then I have a nighttime routine that I'm pretty strict on, and I'm selective with the people that are in my life.
Damn.
Yeah, that's hard.
Damn.
It's
You're
not
up.
all chaos. Mostly chaos. No, I'm kidding. What is the funniest thing that has happened in your business?
Okay, so this is kind of funny. So, you know how they stage homes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, sometimes the beds aren't real. They're like cardboard boxes.
Shut
Oh
up.
my gosh.
So I had a client one time and totally didn't look at the sign that said, "This is not a real bed." It had a sign on the bed. And she goes up to it and she goes belly first. Onto
my
the bed,
God.
and all the boxes scattered everywhere.
No.
And I was like,
Did
yeah.
she get injured? Ouch.
She did not get injured. She's young and she's athletic, but it was the funniest thing. So we had to like put all the boxes back together and make it back into a bed before we left.
Oh my God. That's so bad. I've always wondered how they make them so perfect looking.
Yeah. Well, some of them are real.
Okay.
This one just happened to be the first cardboard box bed that I've ever seen. And she belly first. Not
you
like,
like,
oh, I'm gonna just take a seat. It was like she was doing, yeah,
Like
a cannonball. Yeah,
Yeah, you're like, that is not a
I was
real
like,
bed.
did you see the sign? Yeah. So
Read,
bad.
can you read? Do
It was
your
so
eyes work?
Funny. Yeah.
Oh, you kind of already told
Well,
us this, but
yeah.
what's your sign?
I'm a Cancer. Solid.
Do you identify
So many
with
emotions, so much giving away, so much wanting to help everybody.
Mm.
I'm a ball of emotion.
So you got to
Yeah.
preserve yourself.
Yeah.
Put up those little fences.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten way better at boundaries.
Yeah. I cannot wait. So human design is basically like your energy type and basically like what you're supposed to be on this earth. I don't do so much astrology as much as I do that.
Oh,
Or like
I wanna
as I'm
learn
into
about
that, I want to know yours. So I'm a projector, which basically means that like I'm not supposed to like engage with anybody unless they come to me first. And if I do, I'll be out of alignment. And
Oh.
so, but it's weird. And this is when I worked for Goriana, we used to call them tin cup encounters because I would go on these trips and they like weird shit would happen to me. Like people will approach me. It happened to me in the grocery store yesterday. A man approached me and he's like, "Do you snowboard?" I'm like,
What?
of all the people in the grocery store,
You're all, hello,
you came to
hi.
me. He literally told me a long story about his mother and traveling and all these things. And then he was like, "So where do I buy a snowboard bag?" And I was like,
You're in the grocery store.
Bobo's Mogul Mouse.
I'm like, around the corner. I don't Google it. I don't fucking know the answer to that. Like, what do you mean? But that's a thing for me. So my job is to literally just like be here and like do content, like make content and like be a person. And then people will come to me and I'm supposed to have,
you have
like
an
advice.
energy draw.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool to you guys and the people who come to me. But sometimes it's a lot of weight because I'm like, stop asking questions. So, but I wonder if you're the same because I feel like
we need to do this.
Yeah, we'll do this. Okay, so who's your celeb crush?
You know, I've never been big on celebrity crushes, but I do like Jason Momoa.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can totally see that.
I mean,
he's just so handsome and
I
big,
can
and he's
see them
funny.
like on the beach, just like romping around,
Delightful.
surfing. Yeah.
I would really. And he's tall, isn't he?
He's tall. I love that he's funny.
Yeah.
And he's tattooed and he's tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, so I mean, I guess I do have a celebrity crush.
And he's thick.
You've never been big into celebrity crushes? Like
I just
the first time you saw Titanic, you weren't like Leo.
I
like,
never loved Leo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I would say that based off of the fact that Jason Momoa is her crush.
I know, but
Leonardo DiCaprio's not
that
her
was
crush.
like that is like the first movie that I was like, turns out
Okay,
I'm
mine.
really into guys.
This tells you so much about my life. Fast and Furious, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, Paul Walker. And then I
Oh,
married a
yeah.
man who looked exactly like Paul Walker. And I look back and I'm like, is that the only reason you married him?
10 out of
Maybe.
10. He's hot.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen. Look,
Okay.
listen. My ex couldn't drive a car though, so that was just like bad.
Oh, that's bad.
No, he could. I bought him a Prius. It's a long. Let's move on. Next question.
That does not check out with Fast and Furious. Okay. What's a book that has changed your life?
Let's see. So, this year I've been loving like self-help books.
Yes.
I've just been reading a lot more. That's a part of my nighttime routine to wind down, no phone, and I read. So I really liked The Power of Now, which is what you've talked about, Bridget. I mean,
It's
I call
okay.
you Bridget.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
I just
Everyone does it.
We're
We're pretty much the same.
No, you're not.
Pretty much. Just swap us in or out.
But you've talked about this. And so The Power of Now is really good. You have to live in the moment. And like in this moment, are you okay? Like if you're having a panic attack, that one's great. Psychology of Money. I've never been big on money books, but Psychology of Money, it talks about the psychology of it all. And it's really kind of cool. And then The Happiness Advantage and Atomic Habits. So a whole bunch of things that are self-help.
Okay, The Happiness Project I did read, but it's been years, so I need to get back into that. Have you read The Compound Effect?
No.
Put that on your list.
Okay.
It's about how each, like everything that you do is compounded. So each like tiny little thing that you do, like us being here right now, me taking a sip of this coffee. If I take a sip of this coffee, that will either spike my adrenaline or whatever. And then that's going to compound into other parts of my day. And it's just like how these little tiny actions can impact your
love
future.
that.
It's fantastic. That's,
wow.
yeah.
I want to read that one.
This is just like so exposing. I'm just thinking of all the things that I need to learn, all the things I'm bad at. Okay. What's your hype song right now?
I love all music.
Hell yeah.
All music. I like this Head I Hold, Two Moons, Gangsta Walk,
Hell yeah.
Roses, Feeling Good.
Roses is a good one.
Yeah. I know it's like been overplayed, but I still get hyped up on it.
Nice.
Listen, if it's
Maybe
good,
I'll
it's
play
good.
it
We need to
tomorrow in
add all
Pilates.
those songs in the show
Yeah.
notes.
Seriously.
Will you send us a list of those songs? We can
Yeah.
put them
Have
in
you
the show
guys
notes?
heard the Gangsta Walk one?
I have not.
I feel like I have heard that one.
Yeah.
You should-
I can
hear it in my head.
Oh, I was like, okay, are you gonna sing it? I'm ready for this.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
let's
bear
go.
down.
Let's go. I'm tone deaf, but I'm here for it.
Oh my god. Okay, so last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. If you could give one piece of advice to someone starting out, what would it be?
The best marketing strategy is simply to care and to be true to yourself.
Chills.
Again, full body chills.
Literally up the spine that time.
full body chills. I mean, honestly, that's
Can
exactly.
you say it again?
Yeah, for the people in the back.
The best marketing strategy is simply to care and to be true to yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No one can be you.
Right.
And I think the problem is that in an industry where there's a lot of the same thing, i.e. real estate, there's a lot of imitation of one another that happens, and you try to be someone that you're not, and that shows.
Well, and consistency, because you're so consistent. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. Tell everyone where they can find you.
You could find me on Instagram on Living Reno Tahoe.
Amazing. Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much. Per usual, you guys, you can follow along with Britt on Blast on Instagram, on Facebook. You can find us at BLFT Reno and Haven and Flux as well. If you guys liked the show, subscribe, review Britt on Blast on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. You can also review on Spotify now. So if y'all want to give us like a little 5 stars or 2 stars.
I mean, be
preferably
honest, but
5 stars.
Yeah, help us out.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.